Okay, hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you very much. Kidding. So, thank you. My name is Avi Bashan. I'm the VP R&D of Kovrr. And what we do is we develop a technology that bridges the gap between the cyber world and the insurance world, allowing underwriters to assess and quantify cyber risk in a precise way. So, insurance has been with us for quite a long while. During that time, underwriters developed techniques that enables them to precisely assess and quantify risks and select them in a smart way. And we can see that different areas of traditional insurance have similar traits. And let's take, for example, car insurance. It started in the 1930s. And over the time, the risk, the frequency and severity of events in the car insurance have changed. But the pace of change is slow. This is done because the way new technologies are introduced in a slow manner, allowing underwriters to accommodate to those risks and changing their underwriting metrics. But in contrast, cyber insurance is different. In cyber insurance, we have new attacks every day, meaning you have to have a way to understand and digest all of those changes on a daily manner and reflect them in your underwriting metric. And in a report published by PwC this year, it states that the only insurers that are going to thrive in the cyber landscape are those that have accurate tools that will allow them to have risk selection and risk management. And this is in the affirmative areas and non-affirmative areas. For example, let's take ransomware. A ransomware campaign can lock down computers and shut down business operations, and this can span from a few hours to a few days, meaning it can trigger a direct cyber policy coverage, but also a business interruption coverage. And this is not the only threat businesses are facing. For example, a denial of service attack can also shut down a business, stopping traffic from getting to the business web servers or locking out employees from their computers, meaning this can also shut down a business. In addition, businesses are also facing government threats. For example, just 3 weeks ago, the FBI published a warning about an attack by a group affiliated with the Russian government that affected hundreds of thousands of routers in the US. And a lot of them were used by small, medium businesses. Meaning, businesses also, every business that had to use that used this kind of router and is regulated must notify its clients about the hack. And this costs a lot of money, triggering a cyber claim. So, how can insurers help and understand the different attacks in order to reflect them in their underwriting metric? And this is exactly what we do in Kovrr. We developed a technology that allows us to track and map attacks that are being used in the wild today. From government to script kiddies, we map them all and find out who they are attacking and how the attack works. This is very important to us because when we need to assess a business and understand its security posture, we must understand what the business is facing. And this is not enough. We need to map the threat landscape, we need to map the organization's security posture, but we also need to bridge the gap between the technology information we gathered and the underwriting metric. So what we created is an underwriting metric, a system that translates all of that information to a constant underwriting metric that will allow underwriters to compare different opportunities from different times on the same scale. And the last piece of the puzzle is prevention. So insurance is evolving. If in the past it was only done to cover risk, now insurers are trying to reduce risk. We can see an example in health. Aetna is giving out to its clients Apple Watches so they will engage in physical activity to reduce their risk. We can do the same for cyber. Once we understand the threat landscape and the security posture of an organization, we can create a tailor-made recommendations report that will reduce, that implementing those recommendations will reduce the chance of a cyber attack, successful cyber attack, substantially. So, for conclusion, what we need to do as cyber experts is enable insurance experts to bridge to understand the cyber world, reflect the constant nature of that world to the underwriters, and work together to provide accurate cyber coverage. Thank you.